What's going on, everybody? Mezariah here, back with another video. Today's video is going to be about judgment, and this is kind of a piggyback off of the last few videos that I made, but mostly the video that I made with 717, good judgment, bad judgment, and that's exactly what I saw this morning when I woke up from a dream that Yah gave me, and he showed me a lot of different things, and it was within a short amount of time. It wasn't a long dream, and it was definitely a confirming word. It confirmed what I even spoke on 2 days before this dream. And um in this dream I saw a solar eclipse, and immediately when I see a solar eclipse I see judgment, and he showed me judgment that will be dispersed in the sense of time and timelines and dimensions. So let me give you an example of what I really mean. So this is you can apply this however way you need to understand what I'm saying. Um, so for example, let's say I live in Baltimore and we have a mini earthquake and I feel a shaking, and another person doesn't feel a shaking of the earthquake. It doesn't really do any damage. You just, one person feels it, another person doesn't feel it. And I've been led to believe that the way that happens is because God is very intentional. Like, we can try to prove or use science of why one person didn't feel it or another person felt it, right? But God is very intentional. He's in control of every little thing. If he wants both people to feel it, he's going to allow both people to feel it. If only one person felt it and then another person didn't, that person that felt it should take it way more seriously than the other one that didn't feel it. If you understand what I'm saying. Um, Usually that is a warning to you. So there is the way he was showing it to me in the dream through judgment. Like I said, it was timelines, and dimensions. When you think about the new age, they use the 3D and the 5D to speak on, to articulate the separation of different dimensions of one group of people being on 3D or 4D or whatever like that, but another group of people have been shifted to the 5D. And I use that example to explain it in simpler terms, right? So when God is handing out judgments, according to what my dream is saying, what Yah is showing me, one people can feel it, one people can't, and a group of people may experience something completely different or just the opposite. You see what I'm saying? And that shows you that we are experiencing judgments in different dimensions. We may see each other in the physical, but we're in different realms right now, in different timelines. And God does that intentionally because he wants to grab attention to the people he wants to grab attention to. Now, I'm not saying that every time you experience any little thing that means it's a judgment or anything like that, because I don't want to speak to uh matter of fact, as if you can't feel anything, or you know what I mean. But when something happens like that, when great events happen, one person feels it or another person does it, you want to take that as a warning. And so when he showed me the timelines, he showed me the that we would literally be experiencing judgments, but in a different way. So in another way, he showed me time would be sped up for the good judgment, and time would be slowed down for the bad judgment. And he allowed me to experience the feeling of that. So the bad judgment is basically time is really slowed down for people that are experiencing the judgments that they're going to experience. So whenever judgment is here and coming, and it is final, not the final judgment, but this is more like a seasonal judgment that I'm speaking on. When that judgment comes and you are wherever you are in life, it's going to feel like a slow, you know, a time is going to be slowed down in a way. Time is going to be slowed down, and it's not going to feel good because it's going to feel like hell, especially when you're in a position in life you don't want to be in. it always feels like that. But at the same time, it could feel like time is being sped up. But for the good judgment, time will be sped up. We will have the things that we need. It won't feel like horror all the time for us to be in the times that we're in, if you understand what I'm saying. So, and when I woke up from that dream, I immediately thought, time will be sped up for the elect's sake, because God will do that so we won't be deceived. Because there will be a time when things will be so deceptive that we will be deceived, and that's why He will speed time up so we can get to where we need to get to in life. And I mean, well, not get to in life, but to meet with Christ, to be caught up in the air after everything happens and after we go through tribulation and all of that. But that was used symbolically for the seasonal judgment that we're in. That example. So when He showed me this, He showed me that this judgment would come from a spirit of unbelief. Having a spirit of unbelief, even as a Christian, as a person that believes in God, even as a person that identifies and knows that they are Israelites, that they are Hebrew Israelite. This is a spirit of unbelief. This is due to unbelief. And what He showed me before I even had this dream, He showed me another dream, and this is connected to a judgment of backwardness. This is a judgment of backwardness. So whatever your unbelief is, it will cause you to be in backwardness, and you will have to start over from square one. You will have to start over at a starting point in your life that you did not want to start over, where everything began, where a lot of things began to go downhill for you in your life, and now you will have to get back to where you once were. That's not going to feel the best, but there is always hope. There is always hope. But it's for you to be taught a lesson, and it's for you to get back to where you need to be. We've all been there. We've all been disappointed. We've all been shot and rejected. But this is not a rejection. This is love and protection. This is to teach you the value of your soul, the value of the relationship you have with Christ, and the relationship you want to keep intact with Christ. So, He was quite literal in that dream with me when He was showing me, and He allowed me to feel the effects in that dream. It was so real, because that solar eclipse, anytime you see a solar eclipse in a dream, you know it is judgment. Judgment is near. And I don't know if there are any solar eclipse coming up this like soon, but I know there's one coming up in 2027. Um, it was really just clear to me that this was surrounded about judgment, and the way He divided the good judgment and the bad judgment, and I felt it and saw it so clearly. And he was very clear of what He was saying to me about having faith, and believing in God, believing in Yah, believing in Abba, believing in His Son Christ, putting all of your problems and worries to Him, giving it to Him. You have to show Him faith. It is impossible to please God without the faith. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but I saw the two people that I saw represented unbelief, and they both, I know them both somewhat personally, and they both are very, very similar in personality when it comes to the power of unbelief, when it comes to their belief system and not believing in God. And it was so similar. When God shows you things in twos, it's like He's confirming they not only that, they have the same personality, they have the same ways of thinking, and being so anti-Christ, anti-religion, and anti-this and anti-that. And that was confirming, because you are now showing me twins, basically. You're showing me the exact same people, just in different bodies. So now I have to take it for what it is and understand that God is very serious about it when He shows you uh, the same thing. You know what I mean? Especially in one setting, He's confirming something to you. But this is a reminder to keep your faith, to keep your faith no matter what. Even if you do get a reproof or a bad judgment, keep your faith this time. Change your way of thinking, renew your mind daily, renew it daily. Fight for your soul. You'll realize that once you lose everything, once you lose all of this, it never matters because you can't keep it from being lost sometimes. But your soul is in here, and that's all that matters. And for a lot of us, it didn't take too much for us to realize that. You know what I mean? We got through the trials, we got through the trying times to realize that all that matters is our soul, and we cannot leave this earth without fighting for our soul, fighting for our spot to be with Christ. You know what I mean? And you have to remember how serious this is because everybody is in a state of understanding that this world is temporary. Everything is coming to an end. We about to go to war. Things are changing. The market about to crash. Everything is going downhill. What will we have if we don't have anything that is of value outside of it? So now you have to turn your attention to what's in here, and all that matters. And that's all that matters. So I hope you understood. I hope this edifies you. I hope you understand exactly what I'm saying. I hope the Holy Spirit helped you understand everything that I tried to articulate to you through my dream, through the confirmation of the word that I put out the other day. And with that being said, guys, I will probably be back tomorrow, sometime next week. I'm not sure. But I will be back. I love you guys. That's it. That's all. I'm out.